It takes too long to find an asshole on this website, Reddit. Would I be the asshole if I hid my GF's contact lenses again? It says you are, based on the flare. I, 24M, live with my girlfriend, Lena, 23F. She's doing her master's right now, which means she has classes most mornings / early afternoons, usually 8 to 1 or 2. And then she works from home most evenings, like 5 to 9. I also work from home full time, so I see her routine every day. The thing is, her eyes are constantly suffering. She wears contacts to class, and by the time she comes home, they've made her eyes super red and irritated. Yeah, I could never really get into contacts. I would just be a guy that wears glasses. But I really don't mind how I look with glasses. Like, there was never a part of me that's like, but what if I'm bullied? Who gives a shit? Statistically, men with glasses, this is not actually true. Like, it's not true that they are smarter, but people perceive them to be more intelligent, okay? And I'm just riding that wave, because as far as I know, I'm mostly a moron. But you throw the glasses on, and they're like, hey, this guy might know a thing or two. I might get some people killed, okay? With my fake knowledge. Then, when she switches to her glasses, they calm down. But the second she has a video call in the evening, she takes the glasses off because she feels self-conscious in them. Within half an hour, her eyes are itchy and irritated again. And sometimes she ends up with migraines from looking at a computer screen without glasses. She also gets allergies a lot, so she wakes up with watery eyes. Suffering from beauty. Apparently, she just doesn't want to wear the glasses. I don't know. I feel like women... I don't know, man. I feel like when a woman knows that she looks good in glasses, she rocks that shit. But there's a lot of women that aren't aware that they really don't. Like, some women look even, like, just even better in glasses. There's just something about it. There's like a... I don't know if it's ingrained on us from, like, being young and having, like, that one teacher who wore glasses who was also just, like, very, very attractive. You know what I mean? And that hit you when you're, like, 12 years old. You're like, oh, wow. Wow. Didn't know, you know, everyone has a type, but sometimes you see in middle school that teacher with the glasses and you're like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? But it doesn't apply to everybody. She insists on it because she doesn't like how she looks in glasses. She refuses to leave the house with her glasses on. For the record, she's gorgeous. Glasses or not, she's the prettiest girl. I don't think she realizes how bad it is. Like, she thinks itchy eyes are normal. I'm honestly worried she'll scratch a cornea. She has eye drops that help, but normally I've to really bully her into using them because they leave a bad taste in her mouth. The eye drops, they're for your eyes. They're for your eye. What do you mean they leave a bad taste in her mouth? Are you telling her to drink the eye drops? Drink this. It'll make you feel better. No, put them in your eyes. On Friday, her eyes... Listen, you could also get surgery. You can get cool eye surgery that apparently there's like a 0.5% chance. It will be so painful and annoying to you afterwards that you will be suicidal. That's a cool thing about eye surgery that people don't talk about. I realize it's an exceedingly low risk, but like a part of me is like, yeah, I'd be part of that 1%, you know? On Friday, her eyes were already itchy, but she didn't have any evening calls, so they settled down. That night, we had dinner plans, and while she was rushing to get ready, her eyes were itchy from the eyeliner she uses, and I knew the second she put her contacts in, it would get worse, so I hid them. There's got to be something, you know, there's a part of me that's got to think like, if it's really that unbearable and your eyes are already itchy, then I'd be like, fuck the contacts. She grabbed her glasses before we left, but didn't put them on while we were out. Apart from to read the menu, I know it was sneaky, but I swear it was in her best interest. Her eyes need a break, and I feel like if I don't intervene, she'll just keep hurting herself. You ever heard of like those families that like severely injure family members because they're like, no, you don't understand. I needed to put the bleach in the cereal because the processed foods are cleaned by the bleach. I don't think that's what's going on here. I'm just saying, like, I'm sure there's a Reddit comment, something like that. I'm sure they're losing their minds at this. I'd imagine like a control thing's going to come up in the comment section. Would I be the asshole if I did this again? Like, not every week, on occasion. Let's see. Top comment. You're the asshole. This is controlling and massively overstepping. How to correct her vision is her medical decision to make, not yours. Oh, no. I already know that this is going to be a fun one. This is one of those posts where it's like... Okay, let's see. Thank God. This was the first reply. I think they meant thank God. I was scared people would be okay and advocate for this kind of intrusion. Here we go. I bet if there's this kind of invasive controlling behavior in one area, it's there in others as well. I love it. I love, like, literally some slippery slope fallacy type shit. I love that. Well, you know, if he's hid context from her, he probably tells her what to wear and what she's allowed to eat and what she's allowed to think. Huh? I hope OP's GF finds out how manipulative he is and thinks he knows what's best for her and breaks up with him before it gets worse, because holy fuck. And these are two women commenting this. I'm pretty positive. I can't tell. I'm looking at their little Reddit. Some people design their Reddit avatars. Let's see. Okay, OP may be way off base, but trying badly to be well-intentioned. There's a whole lot of space between this guy's bad idea to help his girlfriend and a holy fuck. Let's get a grip for a minute and not jump straight into abusive manipulator labels. OP is here, after all, asking for advice. It's never a good idea to use deceit and say, yeah, I mean, you should tell her. Hey, let's get that out of the way. You should tell her, like, hey, maybe, I wouldn't even say, like, hey, I hit it. Well, I mean, I guess you have to now, but I'd be like, hey, maybe you just don't wear the contacts, you know what I mean? Maybe you just to read the menu, you know, they're going to bother you, but I don't want it to ruin the night, you know. I'll read the menu out to you like a little story, like a little bedtime story. Steak and a loaded baked potato. But like, I'm just like projecting right now about what I want to eat for dinner. But I'll say this, right? This whole like rabbit hole that they always go down when posts like this pop up, she needs to break up with him and realize, and like meanwhile the two are just like if he told her, she'd probably be like, oh, why'd you do that? I mean, I guess, but like next time just tell me, you know? Next time just tell me, you know? That's probably how they handled it, because I've noticed like sometimes I've read stories on Am I the Asshole and I've seen the comments and I think like, dear God, because sometimes like me and my wife will have these like minor disagreements that aren't exactly like the story, but they're close enough. And like the conclusion that we came to was like, oh, well, I guess we'll just do this. Oh, it's not that big of a deal. Just next time, let me know, right? And then I read like a response, and that's probably how most people in these situations solve the situation. But then I read like Reddit comments that are like, this is manipulation and you need to get the fuck out of there. If she's smart, she'd realize that you're going to control every aspect of her life. And you're like, when's the last time you were in a relationship? His GF should also be responsible with herself. The amount of manipulative people I've known through my life who would heavily lean on the but it's for their own good rhetoric is frankly disgusting. She's a fully capable adult who doesn't need to be infantilized by her partner. If she wants to wear scratchy contacts, it's her own damn business. Some of you, I can tell that you're not in relationships. You're just like you've been in a relationship before. And you know, I'm assuming, but like you're not currently in a relationship. Like I can feel by the way that like I can feel that you're on lay independence. Lay, she's a grown woman. She's a grown woman, which means that you as a man need to accept the fact that sometimes she does things that are painful to her, and you should never, ever, ever. Hey, babe. We can just have like a casual dinner. You don't have to get all like dressed up or anything. How dare you? What if she wanted to get dressed up? Reddit's funny, man. You're the asshole. She's an adult. You're being controlling and claiming it's in her best interest. You can express concern, but hiding them is absolutely not okay. But you see, OP thinks the woman he owns looks better in glasses. What the fuck? You see, OP thinks the woman he owns looks better in glasses. He shouldn't do it, but his intentions are at least out of concern for her health and not about her looks. If he doesn't want to control her looks, in the post he literally says that she's suffering at the sake of looking good. Okay. Doesn't give him the right. It's so funny. No, you don't understand. The woman he owns. He's like, she really doesn't look bad in glasses, and the contacts really hurt her, so I don't really understand. I'm going to hide the contacts so she doesn't have itchy ears. You think you own her? You think you want to own her? I'm not even joking. Like, I know I don't show the Reddit posts anymore because I don't want to show, like, if I show somebody's account name and I'm, like, particularly harsh towards them and, like, somebody that watches me views that and then sends them a message, then all of a sudden I'm in trouble on Reddit. I can no longer view the sub or whatever. So I don't want to show the person. But I'm saying right now that there is a person on here that's like, OP thinks the woman he owns looks better in glasses, and that's why he's doing this. Like, these people are psycho. I know that, like, sometimes, normally when I read the top comments on an Am I the Asshole post, I'm like, But this is why I look for the posts that have an asshole flare, because if this was a not the asshole flare, the top comment would be like, "No, you're not an asshole for saving that lady from sudden death, you know? You're not an asshole for that." And it'd be like, "Yeah, of course." You need these ones because it's like, "Oh, this guy made it as like an asshole. He doesn't seem like a huge asshole, but he should tell his wife." But then you look, or his girlfriend or whatever. But then you just look and people are like, "This is controlling, and we really know that you don't care about her eyes. You just want to control everything she does." And it's like, I don't know. It's very Twitter almost. "You're really on the wrong subreddit here. I can see where you're coming from, but it's still not quite right to hide your GF's context. He's controlling her by forcing her to modify herself without choice. It's manipulation because he's hiding it from her." I noticed that all of the comments that are very upset at this are like women. They've got women profile pictures. I guarantee. Wait. "I challenge him to hide them and tell her he's hid them. I guarantee he'd be single within the hour, if that long." Hold on. I gotta talk. Ugh. I just have to say that you do not know these people. So there is a good chance that she might not care at all. Like, you're assuming a lot by saying, "I guarantee he'd be single within the hour." Like, imagine my wife, listen, I have ADHD. If my wife moves something, I'll never find it. Okay. I'll never find things that I put back. Okay. If we broke up, the amount of times that she moved something that was mine and I couldn't find it at the time, we would have broken up a long time ago. I don't know why I don't know why I worded it that way. We would have been broken up a long time ago. Going against the grain here, not the asshole. "I see too many people take their eye health lightly and live to regret it." That's an interesting point. Your eyes being scratchy all the time is not a good idea. So you think that someone hiding a medical device that has been prescribed to someone else isn't an asshole move? Let's not forget that he has already done it for at least one other time. He definitely is. You're the asshole. Her body, her choice. Same if it was, and of course, it is a woman on Reddit, so I'd imagine. But like, she has good glass. She has other glasses. So because she has a medical issue she is not treating properly, she loses the ability to make choices for herself. Bro, the women on this subreddit are like, it is either, it has to be like the most extreme. Like, it's like, "I just noticed her eyes were itchy and I hit him or whatever." And it's like, "Oh, so you think she should be blinded? Why don't we just get rid of her sight, huh? Why don't we just give her little glasses so she can't see anything? And then you could take her out, and whenever she has to talk to people, she has to look at the ground because she's not allowed to look at other men in the face." How about that? He can have a conversation with her, not steal from her, and treat her like a child. I agree that he should tell her, right? How much of an asshole he is debatable, in my personal opinion. Like, in my personal opinion, how much of an asshole he is, it depends. But like, these people who are like, jump to the most insane extremes, it's kind of like when like a woman, like, I've seen these stories of like a woman who clearly is kind of falling out of love with her husband. And she hasn't cheated or anything like that, but she's just been kind of like torn. Not necessarily on the "Am I the asshole" sub, it'll be like relationship advice. And it'll be like a woman who clearly probably should just leave the relationship. But she remembers like a better time where like he was always happy and doing things and wanted to hang out, and now he's just very cold and distant. And like, the replies, will be supportive, but then you'll come across men who are like, "Yeah, there's probably just some other dick on the side you want to get." And it's like, what? She like explains this story about how like, they had like the perfect relationship, but it kind of felt like he's just falling out of love, or she's falling out of love, and blah, 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 blah. And, she's tried to make it work many, many times, and she just doesn't know what she'd do. She'd have to go back to being like on her own because she's got no, like, it's not like she has somebody else lined up, because some people do have like somebody lined up before they break up. But like, this was genuinely somebody who was like, it just really sucks. And like, some of the top comments are just like, "Yeah, whatever. We know that there's some dick on the side you want to get, and you can't. You feel bad if you did it in a relationship." But yeah, no, I don't know. Stop trying to control her. A lot of I'll say this. Most of "Not your place at all, you absolute control freak." Would you hide her crutches because they hurt her and you think she looks better in a wheelchair? You were bad at metaphors. I gotta say, the amount of profile pictures from like the amount of like women profile pictures. There's one person that's commenting on anybody that disagrees. There's one person who's like commenting like, no, you need to understand. You need to understand. They need to break up now. They're responding to everything. I don't know why you're getting slammed for this. There is nothing controlling about this in the slightest. No, I would say that, like, I don't think the guy's an asshole. I just think he should have told her. I think that his heart was in the right place. He just went about it wrong. He should have been like, hey, maybe we don't do the context. It seems like your eyes are really bothering you. Like, maybe you just wear the glasses to read the menu, but otherwise, like, I'll help you around. I'll guide you. I won't guide you into traffic. So taking her medical device from her isn't an asshole move. Forcing her to do something she doesn't want to do isn't an asshole move. How about letting her choose what to do, what she wants with her body, and having a conversation, not stealing what is rightfully hers? One time, my wife, she went to the store and she was like there was like a deal for deodorant, and she got a deodorant that I didn't like. And I thought, you dumb, how, like I told you, I prefer the spray deodorant at this point. And you got me the chalky deodorant, and you got the brand that I don't think it smells as good. And quite frankly, I think we should break up. I don't know why I'm going off into this tangent. I just think it's very funny. Like, whenever I read one of these stories and it's like, they're definitively, he's an asshole, I love to read the people who are like, oh, y'all are definitely going to break up. And it's like, they might not. There's a relatively good chance that they might not. Because you guys, I don't know. But I do think maybe, I do think that what was I gonna say? I do think that you should tell her, duh. But like, these people who are like, oh no, that's pushing it too far. Let me be a voice of reason among all the aggressive comments here. I don't usually make replies to "Am I the asshole?" Because I think that coming to Reddit for questions like this does more harm than good in the long run. Maybe. I feel like you might need another level-headed comment. As I say so often to my partner, we can only make any judgments based on the information presented in the post. I think so often, most Redditors lose sight of the nuance and complicated layers of human interaction and relationships. Most of the comments being so quick to accuse you of abuse, mistreatment, being controlling are definitely missing that aforementioned nuance. No shit. It's the extremes. It has to be the extremes. Wait, this guy's actually smart. I'm not going to read his whole comment out loud. He literally is saying it would not be, this might be a woman actually. It's not good to hide them. You should let them know again, but this isn't, it's literally just like this isn't this crazy controlling thing. Yeah, I don't know. This is Reddit. This is what Redditors do, because they think every relationship is like their past relationships, but if all you have is bad past relationships, then like you have nothing good to go off of. Like, you see minor things and you think it's like the worst. Anyways, I'm going to end this because I didn't realize I've been almost recording this for 20 minutes, and that's insane for an Am I the Asshole. But listen, I don't really think this guy's an asshole. I mean, I do think he should tell her, but like, I feel like after reading the comments, there's a part of me that like, maybe I'm playing devil's advocate because I'm seeing so many people who are like, yeah, you guys are going to break up when she finds out what a controlling piece of shit you are. When in reality, like, we don't know these people. There's a good chance that it won't really be that big of a deal. So maybe I'm playing devil's advocate on that front, but I truly don't believe he's an asshole like that.